What's up, y'all? Back once again, week 3, Hartford Zero's Fantasy Football League Commissioner Message. Man, we had some good games this week in the league. We already had some major trades already this week. We already had Poor Red trade. The McRib is back. McRib traded LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson, his two Eagles, to Poor Red for Chris Johnson and Greg Jennings. We'll definitely see how that pans out. But that was a major trade. But then Poor Red goes around and turns around and trades Deshaun Jackson and Percy Harvin for real deals, Hakeem Nicks. So Poor Red's been an active owner this week, definitely changing up his team. It's not the team that he drafted. Matter of fact, I was just noticing today that really, out of the first 4 picks in our draft, only one has really panned out, and that was Adrian Peterson, number 1. Number 2 went Vic. He hasn't really produced as a number 2 pick in the draft. Number 3 was Arian Foster, who I took, and he hasn't done anything. He hasn't even been healthy on the field. And then number 4 was Chris Johnson, which Poor Red took, and he actually just turned that into LaShawn McCoy. So good job on that. Hopefully Chris Johnson will definitely pan out for Poor Red. For McRib is back. But let's get into some of these games that went down over the weekend. First off, congratulations goes to the 40 Winers. He's been close the first couple weeks, but he pulls off the big win against Poor Red, 161-102, and takes the weekly. Everybody on 40 Winers team kind of went off. He had Welker with 37, Rogers with 29, Fred Jackson 21, MJD 17, Stevie Johnson 15, Rackers with 15, his kicker, and then the Packers D with 15. So pretty much everybody on his team went off except one person who got 6 points. I didn't even write that guy down. So anyway, Poor Red ended up with 102, only led by Flacco with 37, Greg Jennings, who he just traded now, with 12, and then Jimmy Graham with 17 from the New Orleans Saints. In the second game, we had Cuddy Rock, bitch, against Tiger's Blood. It was ugly. Cuddy Rock takes the win 94-49. Ouch, Tiger's Blood. Couldn't even break 50. Cuddy Rock team kind of went off a little. Well, didn't really go off, but his leaders on his team were Ray Rice with 16, Matt Ryan with 14, and a good pickup with Nate Washington with 15, and now with Kenny Britt getting hurt last week. So he got him the week that you wanted to get him before he was a hot free agent. So good job with that. And then Roddy White with 15. Tiger's Blood. Not really much to mention on your team other than Andre Johnson with 13. Everyone else was in single-digit points and 49. It kind of, you had a bad fantasy week when your bench outscores your starters. And his bench got 52, and his starters got 49. So that was a little hard. Hopefully he bounces back here strong. I think he needs to make a few moves here to bolster that lineup. That running back core is just not cutting it right now for him. In the next game, Real Deal gets his first win over Hell Yeah, 103-96. Real Deal had Matt Schaub show up with 33. Then Peterson with 14. And then big old Gronkowski with 23. Hell Yeah led by Breeze with 34. Fitzgerald with 12. And then Ahmad Bradshaw with 19. The next game we had Romo's Homos taking their first win over McRib is back, pushing him to 0-3. Romo's Homos gets the win 122-90, led by DMC, the big 31 points against the Jets D. Who saw that coming? Dwayne Bowe with 12, and then Jermichael Finley, those 3 touchdowns, 26. McRib is back, led by McCoy with 20, but again, he traded him. Tulio Jones with 12. Cam Newton with only 17 the week, but he still ended up better with than Josh Freeman. And then, can't even read my own handwriting, but someone else with 12. Red Bull Addiction also gets their first win against Vic in the Box. So Red Bull Addiction led by Roethlisberger with 18, Megatron with 23, and Ryan Matthews. Would he even started Matthews if Jamal Charles didn't get hurt with 26 points. Huge game there for him. Might be okay now. His team might be getting on track here. Vic in the Box, led by Mike Wallace with 23. Bush with 11, and then ouch, Mike Vick only 8 points. That's got to hurt. Seeing he was the second pick in the draft. And then in the the last game, which was my game, I just got mollywopped, which means just my ass handed to me. Young Niners 125, the Biz 73. Young Niners led by Brady with 31. Darren Sproles. I mean, where does this guy come from? Who would have thought he would have been a solid number 2 running back with 14 points? I mean, the guy is just, I guess, dual threat, and he's actually probably the best running back in New Orleans to have on your fantasy team right now. Lance Moore with 18, and then the Ravens D with the big 28 against the Rams. My team, the Biz, kind of only had 2 guys that did anything for me, when that was Matt Stafford with 30 and then Tim Hightower with 13. Kind of dealing with some injury issues. I have Miles Austin out, and Arian Foster obviously hasn't done anything. I do have Ben Tate, but he's just not. I wouldn't pick Ben Tate number 2 or number 3 overall. So hopefully I can get Arian Foster healthy and actually get some production out of him. So now I'm going to get into the segment here where earlier this week I had talked to one of our only undefeated teams left, Cuddy Rock Bitch. Visited him earlier this week at work, and let's see what he had to say about the league. So what's going on, man? It's Lump Dog, Commissioner, the Hartford Zero's Fantasy Football League. As you can see this week, we got your boy, the only undefeated team left in the league at 3-0, Cuddy Rock. Cuddy Rock, bitch! Got Jay. So introduce yourself, let them know what's up, your team.
What's up, guys? I'm Jason, Cuddy Rock Bitch, only undefeated team in our league. Get on my level.
Yeah, that's what's up. You even made it this week, too, to 3-0 without Peyton Hillis, which you made a trade for. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like you've gotten to this point or been able to get in these wins?
Honestly, I think I've been pretty lucky to this point. I've been holding, if you look on the league, I've been holding the teams that I go up against to under 100 points. All of them, I would think. But, yeah. I mean,
you had
pretty much luck.
Yeah, you had that really close win in week 1, winning 83-84 against Red Bull Addiction, where you had only a 10-point lead and he had 2 players going, Santana Moss and Ocho Cinco. Or no, it was Brandon Lloyd and Ocho Cinco, sorry. Yeah. And they weren't able, they only got him 9 points. That was a really lucky win. But I did notice on the finance page, you are the big spender of the league here. You have the most ads and drops of any team. Yeah. Well, not I don't say drops, but ads. So do you just take a flyer? I mean, what do you look for when you look for a free agent?
I look to see who's going to be playing that week and who they're playing up against. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know that I picked up Nate Washington off the waiver wire.
And that was last week.
That was last week.
Before Kenny Britt's injury.
Yeah, before Kenny Britt got injured. So, again, it was just luck. I mean, it's just whoever's available. If I feel that they have a favorable matchup, then I'll just roll with it.
And I see that you also even picked up Bernard Scott because you were looking a couple weeks down the road, saw that you had some pretty short chain. You didn't have a good lineup on your bye week, which is what, week 5?
Yeah, week 5.
And then you
I'm
saw
losing both my running backs.
Yeah, so then you already picked up Bernard Scott to really plug him in, and that was 2 weeks ago. So I see that you're making moves, 2 or 3 steps ahead of the game here. So I mean, last year did that help you last year, just playing in the league to get this year? Because you kind of weren't doing that last year at all.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to do differently in this year that I didn't do last year is play matchups, which you had advised me. It was like in week 1 to kind of play the matchup. So that's one thing that I've been trying to do differently this year is play the matchups, which is why I picked up Nate Washington for this week, and he obviously did really good for me. So.
Yeah, definitely. And then who do you play this week? Who's your matchup this week?
I think let's see. I'm going up against Real Deal, who also made a trade this week. Gave up Knicks for was it Harvin and Deshaun Jackson. I think that was a good trade. I mean, now Sang has a pretty good,
way to diversify. He had both the Giants receivers. He had Knicks and Manningham. Yeah. So he diversified a little bit and spread his wide receivers out a little bit. Definitely. I'm not sure if he needed to give up Knicks, but hey, we'll see. I
think it was a good trade for both.
Exactly. I mean, time will tell.
See.
Yeah, exactly. Time will tell. Time will tell. So, do you like your matchup this week against Real Deal? You think you're going to make it to 4-0 or
You know what? Like
3-1 in your future?
that's the plan. Obviously, I want to keep this undefeated streak going, but I mean, Sang has a pretty solid lineup. I mean, he has and the matchups he has also are pretty good. So it's gonna be a challenge, but you know, hopefully Cuddy Rock will be able to pull it off. But we'll see.
Cuddy Rock, bitch. Right on. Well, that's a little insight into Jason. Any thing you want to say to the league? Any shout outs? Any anybody you want to talk some smack to? Anything like that?
No, not really.
Not gonna tell Real
just
Deal.
yeah,
Put it on them.
just you know, I don't wanna like brag about the record or anything, but you know, hopefully if I make it to 4-0, maybe even 5-0, because I know once we start hitting into these bye weeks, guys, and we're all gonna be scrambling for that hot free agent, and that's why I'm trying to make the moves now. So
Definitely. Now, who do you think is the best team in the league right now? Who do you think has the strongest squad?
Honestly, the strongest squad I think would have to be Fowler, or even myself. I think we all. Am I still?
Yeah, you saw.
Oh. Or even myself. I think we both have pretty strong teams, and I mean, it was just due to that one trade that we had made. I came up in receiver. I felt when I acquired Roddy White, and he beefed up his running back. So I think me and him have the best teams. I think.
Nice. All right. And any idea who you feel has the worst team at all, or?
We'll just leave that to we'll just leave
we'll leave that to the record.
Yeah, we'll leave that to the record. 0-3.
Right on. Well, hey, there was another big trade or actually two big trades. One we said with Real Deal trading for Deshaun Jackson and Harbin for Knicks, and then also McRib is back trading away Poor Red to Poor Red when LaShawn McCoy and who was it? LaShawn McCoy.
And it was LaShawn McCoy and
Greg Jennings for Chris Johnson and Deshaun. No, it wasn't Deshaun.
Yeah, it was Chris Johnson and Greg Jennings
for Deshaun Jackson and McCoy.
Yeah.
And then he traded away Deshaun Jackson and Arvin for Hakeem Nicks. So we'll see how those trades turn out. But I like seeing the movement in the league. It makes me want to make a move, but I just don't have it right now. So we'll see, man. All right, man. Thanks for coming up to the Commish message. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys at another time.
Cuddy Rock, bitch.
So there you go. Cuddy Rock, bitch, was in the building, man. That's what it's up. With the 3-0 start, playing Real Deal this week. Those are homeboys right there going at it. Let's see if they can remain friends this week after this week. He says he's prepared to take the L, as you heard, but I think it's going to be a good matchup this week with Real Deal and Cuddy Rock, bitch. So there you guys got it, man. Wanted to say congratulations to Hell Yeah's owner. It looks like he'll be leaving the Hartford, but actually not the Zeros. So he'll be staying in the league. Talk to him. He's all good. So we got his number, and he's still in the league for the remainder of the year. Anyway, so that's the commission message for week 3. Good luck to everyone in week 4. I'll see you guys at work. And again, next week I'll be looking for another owner for the weekly interview segment. So keep your email up so you might get one from me. All right. Lump Dog out. Peace.